Imagine this. You stand in front of a mirror. But you're not looking at your reflection, you're looking at your enemy. He breathes the same way you do. Makes the same mistakes you do. And the scariest part, he lives inside your mind. Your whole life you've been told that your problems come from the outside. That it's toxic people, difficult circumstances, unlucky relationships. But the truth is darker. Your main opponent has always been right beside you. And you never noticed how deeply he shapes your thinking. You believe you control your brain. That you're the master of your habits and emotions. But psychology makes it clear. You're running on autopilot. You repeat old reactions as if you had no choice. And here's the myth that needs to be destroyed. I am who I am. No. You are a bundle of habits, fears, defense mechanisms, and blind spots. And as long as you cling to the old idea of yourself, you keep losing to the same enemy. The real dark truth is this. You create most of the pain that breaks you. You undermine your own confidence. You destroy your own relationships. You let the past control your decisions. First insight. The value frame. You see yourself lower than you should, and it defines everything. When you underestimate your own worth, you choose people who undervalue you. You accept relationships that drain you. You say yes when you should say no. Example? You wanted to text someone who matters to you. And instantly you felt anxiety. You started imagining how you look, what they'll think, how they'll judge you. And your mind begins doubting you. Even though no one has even replied yet. And you think it's just hesitation. No. It's the built-in value frame. You devalued yourself. You stepped back before you even took a step forward. Second insight. The shadow of self-sabotage. You ignore important habits. Delay tasks. Hide from difficult conversations. And call it being tired. But the real reason is deeper. Your brain doesn't want you to become stronger. Because strength means responsibility. And responsibility means risk. Self-sabotage is protection from growth. A small story. You decide to change your life. Start training, learning, rebuilding your mindset. And the next day you wake up empty. No energy. No motivation. As if something inside you is pulling you back into the familiar swamp. That's your shadow. It's afraid you'll step beyond its limits. Afraid of your future version. So it does everything it can to keep you the same. Third insight. The loop of avoidance. You run from discomfort. Thinking you're protecting your psyche. But avoidance is an invisible chain. That keeps you tied to weakness. In relationships it looks like this. Someone shows coldness, and you immediately retreat. In communication, you stay silent when you need to speak. In attraction, you fear looking needy. So you don't show up at all. You think you're avoiding a mistake. But in reality, you're avoiding life. Fourth insight. The noise of the mind. You're overflowing with thoughts. Your emotions jump. The brain is overloaded with worries you feed it yourself. And in this noise, you can't hear your own desires. You become your own enemy exactly in moments of silence. When a decision needs to be made. And you feel everything inside you resisting. But here's what matters. The enemy inside you doesn't hate you. He's simply protecting the old version of you. That wants to survive at any cost. And this is where the transformation begins. You start noticing your habits. Your avoidance. Your reactions. And slowly, step by step, you take back control over your thinking. You stop believing every impulse. You start recognizing when the brain tries to deceive you. You discover a new, strange taste, the taste of clarity. Awareness brings power. You stop feeling small. You no longer accept relationships where you're not heard. You change your communication style. You start choosing, instead of waiting to be chosen. You no longer disappear when things get hard. You're no longer the person living on autopilot. You are the observer. The consciousness. The one who finally heard their own mind. And yes, that enemy still lives inside you. But now you know its strength. You know how it thinks. And you know where it hides. You're no longer fighting yourself. You're learning to manage yourself. And that is true liberation. So remember this. The darkest enemy is the one you were afraid to look at. But the moment you face him, he disappears. And what remains is you. A new version. Stronger. Aware. Finally free. Your mind is not your prison. Unless you insist on being its guard.